Live.
Yo! It is another edition of the High Hopes Podcast, sponsored by Miller Lite, official sponsor of the Philadelphia Phillies. Taste like Miller time, Philadelphia. Celebrate responsibly. We are so back. I mean, you guys didn't get it. I'm rarely will do you missed the show before the show, but the 3 minutes before the show even started, we're like locked in right now. This is as high hopes as it gets. Brutal series loss to the Orioles. Wheeler, worst start of his career as a Philly. We are back. High hopes, baby. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
First off, listen, I'm not an excuse guy.
London ruined the season?
If London ruined the season,
oh, yeah, buddy. The trip. I will be look back on my trip much less fondly, if that's the way this plays out. Yes. Nope. See, this is good for you. I mean, just a bunch of Zach Bryan and stick to him. Or, I don't know. Ever heard of this band? They're called the Grateful Dead. Greatest American band. No big deal. They might be. Yeah, they're arguing. Like, it depends on people hate the Dead for some reason. But I think they're in the discussion. Certainly, like, longest running, most important, certainly. But
guess who are technically Canadian?
Yes, they are. Look at you. Going, guess who? Yes, you got him. They did. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not American.
Good work, guy.
Yeah.
Really
so that's actually a pretty interesting.
Thank
are they
you.
the best? Oh, well, then you go like Pearl. You can go like
yeah.
Pearl
Well,
Jam,
that's the
Nirvana.
thing. It's new.
I'm
Yeah.
talking like classic rock.
They're the like really. I mean, say Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young,
Allman
Creedence, Allman Brothers,
Creed.
Credence. Big difference there. The smile when you got to say Creed there. That was so good.
I'm so in on Bad Rock.
I know you are. You of everyone I know, no one loves the Nickelbacks and the Creeds and stuff more than you. You are so, and you know what?
It makes me happy.
Well, I appreciate the unapologetic nature with which you love it.
I don't.
I know.
don't care.
Yeah, I love that about you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So ban London always, and also like the schedule makers are a joke. Like it's a joke.
This is 2023 Eagles talk we're getting in here.
So-
Let's go.
So I actually
the gauntlet.
when I was driving in, I said to myself, I was like, I know I sound like Elliot when I say this, but
It's a dangerous way.
it is. I never want to sound like Elliot, but it's a little unfair that
Oh man.
it is, dude.
Oh,
It's
no.
unfair that they had to go to London
Oh.
and then go on a 6-game road trip without a day off. By the way,
Oh.
you couldn't. I mean, one day off. It was Monday, but
There's
that's
like
a travel
one
day.
tear trailing down your
No,
cheek.
they
right
should.
now.
They should have. If you're gonna play Boston, at least make it a 2-game series so they have off Thursday. This team's tired.
Oh, man.
They're tired.
Can we I would just love to flash back to all the callers. Oh, the Eagles are tired, and Jack's response to said callers.
First off, the Eagles play once a week.
I know, good take. I like it. Yeah,
But yeah, I think they're tired.
I do too. Actually,
They're a little tuckered out.
No day off again today. Back home, right back at it.
But at least Trey's back. So I think Trey coming back is like the right level of okay.
Like
Here's the
elixir.
juice.
The elixir. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm with you.
Because
Yeah.
I just again they look tired.
They do, and it also felt like they kind of gave everything they had on Friday night.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, they did.
So did I.
Yeah, me
So did
too.
we.
I mean, you know me. I'm up to like midnight watching a baseball game. That's all I got.
At
Buddy.
least you didn't have to do post game.
Tough.
Actually,
True.
I wanted. It was a fun.
That was a fun one.
If they lost, I would have said, "All right, Rob Cherry, you
Who's
can
in
do it."
studio? Can you
Yeah.
stop it?
Yeah, I'm not. If they lost,
That
I was
would've
not doing post.
It would have been a tough loss.
For sure.
Yeah. After the play, and then it's like the game could just be over, and then we get the rain delay, and it was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, well, it's another joke by Major League Baseball. Like, just call the guy out so you don't deal with the rain delay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, have a little foresight here. It's poor. It's about to start pouring. Like, what are we doing?
And the next pitch, Anthony Son
Yeah.
down there.
What if someone's arm fell off right after that? And then it's like, oh, you ruined his career.
Yeah.
Because you didn't just call the game.
Yeah. So
What
I'm
happened?
having a tough time like overreacting to anything. I mean, that's not true. Like, again, if we did this podcast,
Yeah, I mean, you just
yesterday-
said ban London, so you're not overreacting at all. And then you said the Phillies are tired.
if we
You're handling it great.
if we recorded this podcast yesterday, I would have, obviously said stuff that we would have regretted. But
Shout out to Zoe for wanting to watch Inside Out,
Yeah.
which kept us from recording.
and definitely not handling it well. So I missed the Rob Thompson ejection because I had
Oh,
I had to go on a walk. Happy Father's Day.
You had to go on a walk.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, buddy.
Saturday I spent
Sorry, walk. I got to go on a walk.
Well, he came on the walk.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Of course.
It was a family walk.
Nice.
That was a blow off the steam kind of walk.
Good.
And Saturday I was at my brother-in-law's and sister-in-law's, and everyone's out at the pool. And Jackson's
by yourself.
Yeah. And I'm watching them
Melt
blow
down.
Saturday.
Yeah, which they did blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had it. So definitely not handling it well. But at the same time, it's like they're down two of their best players.
Yeah.
During an actually tough. And by the way, the Red Sox slowly playing better.
Red Sox don't stink. They're a fine baseball team, and the Orioles are awesome.
The Orioles are really
the Orioles are one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the sport.
Yeah, I think there's 4. I think there's the 4 best teams in baseball. I think we talked about this on the podcast, but
I don't think we did. What, Yankees, Orioles, Phillies, Dodgers? Would you say? Yeah, I think so.
I think those are the 4.
Well, the Guardians are the one where it's kind of hard.
I know, but they're not real.
40,
they're not real.
They're like 47
I know.
and 20, whatever. 43 and 20.
They're not winning. They're not making the World Series.
I don't think they are either.
They're a tough out.
I agree with you. Look, they're tough, but I agree. I think the 4 teams are the best 4.
I do think Jose Ramirez should be getting more MVP buzz.
Yeah, you're damn right he should.
I mean, Gunnar is pretty ridiculous.
Gunner's pretty
good. Dude.
Gunner's good.
He's so good. Like, I just like.
And so is Adley, and they're just annoying.
Well, that Adley home run, I was surprised at some of those home runs yesterday. Like, Adley, I thought was a pop.
The Westberg one just barely got out. Like, I thought that was a clear double. I was like, all right, double. Would have just like popped off and got out.
Would have been nice to see the Phils join the jet stream.
Now the Santander ones were pretty much no doubters. At least 2 of the 3 were. Yeah.
I still think Anthony Santander is like the most underrated good player.
Well, now he's officially a Phillies killer.
Oh, for sure.
You hit 2 2-1 game tying home runs again in the same series, like killer.
Off of Matt Strom.
Yeah. Ending the Strom streak. I mean, come on, that was so dramatic.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
He's really good against lefties, Santander.
Yeah,
really good.
Santander.
Is he a bank? All right.
But yeah, it's the official bank of the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Santander. I like it better. Don't you like Santander better?
No, I think Santander is a way better name. Yeah.
Santander.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I like it. It's got like a ring to it. It rhymes. Santander.
No.
Yeah, Anthony. Santander. Bang.
It sounds like salamander.
It does a little bit. You're right. Yeah, I kind of like that.
What a podcast.
The salamander. It's Santander's salamanders. In the sign, they're wearing salamander.
Just don't ruin the way that I say Santander, because the more and more you say it, I'm going to start saying, Santander. Yeah, get that. They couldn't get Santander out all weekend. It was a joke, man. Yeah, Matt Strom's a bum.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what I needed.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Good podcast.
Yeah. Are we even podcast? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah. We're just professionals.
Good.
Professionals from day one. But yeah, it's been an annoying week.
Yeah.
And it really started with Sunday in London.
Mm-hmm.
And it really continued. I can't believe they lost 4 straight road series.
It's wild. Yeah. I mean, 4 straight series, period. I mean, they had not lost one for what, like a month? They went without losing a series. And they were just sweeping them all.
Yeah.
They still have swept more sweeps than last year already. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Peaking too early?
Well,
I am glad there's a little turbulence.
Yeah, look, they weren't gonna go 116. Like, I'm sorry. That record was safe. And I wouldn't have wanted them to go 116.
No one wants to win that much.
No, it's too much. And you're losing the playoffs. You can't push that hard for 6 months and not take your foot off the gas. I mean, it's too much.
I mean, the only team that did all that, like set wins record and won.
That was it. The 98 Yankees, the only team to ever do it.
Well, I'm thinking like all of sports though too. Like, so you have the
Bulls.
Bulls. The Bulls are the only ones in the NBA. Like the Warriors came up small, or they didn't get the job done.
Yep.
The 72 Dolphins, I guess, but like weren't a lot of those games coin flips? I mean, it's impressive.
They were.
And it was also 12 games.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. So
I think 14.
Either way. No, the only reason they're on top of my mind is I saw Larry Zonka was like interviewed this weekend. He was yelling at the reporter about
was he really
great their team was.
Good for you. You know what? I will give them credit. Like the poppin' champagne is a great bit.
They are.
Like, that is good for you guys. Honestly, good for you. You know, own that. They own it. They're like, this is our thing. And guess what? It's still going.
Yeah. It's actually why I'm mad at the 07 Patriots are still the best team I've ever seen.
I mean, no doubt.
Did you root for them in the Super Bowl?
I actually rooted against them in the Super Bowl.
Why?
Yeah,
You didn't want to see?
I rooted for the Giants, which is like a
Well, you are a New York guy.
Oh yeah, all-time travesty moment there. Yeah,
Grew up a Mets fan.
Yeah, no, stop. Come on, stop. It's outrageous.
When did you move down here again?
I was 12.
Dude, you might as well be from
My
New York.
dad went to
Hold
Cheltenham.
on, man. You moved down here when you were 12?
Yes.
You think about all the New York-ness that's been infiltrated in you. I'm surprised you think they're pizza?
My dad went to Cheltenham. What do you want me to do? He lived in New York. I actually truly
12?
I think growing up in New York as a Philly sports fan forged me as an even tougher fan because I'm around Giants fans, Mets fans. The Mets were great then. You know who sucked? The Phillies. I had to listen to all these nitwit Mets fans. You see how I'm asking there? Yeah. Nitwit Met fan. Oh, Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden. And I'm talking about Steve freaking Jeltz. So, yeah, it was tough. And you know what? It forged me. It made me what I am.
How'd you watch Phillies games? They didn't have the package back then.
I didn't when I was like 7, 8 years old, 6 years old, and I didn't get to watch Phillies games. We went to the vet. I went to like 8 games a year. My dad would schlep us down to the freaking vet. So I was at the Schmidt retirement game. I was at the freaking Carlton retirement game. I was at all these games. I met Ricky Jordan on the field one time. It was a freaking thrill. That's what I did. I went to the vet. Man. I went to the vet. That's how I watched Phillies games. I drove to the freaking vet from New York.
So, full disclosure, did not think you would get that fired up about that, but I appreciate you going there.
That's I take it seriously.
Yeah, it's good. No, because again, you are a New Yorker. Like, I don't claim being from Delco when I moved from media when I was 5.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a Chester County man.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that about me.
Yes, everyone does.
Everyone knows it.
Yes, they all know it.
Chester County's finest.
Yes, everyone knows it.
Yeah, all day, every day. So, you are a New Yorker. That does stink, though. So, like, hold on. So, would you go to watch Eagles games?
Yeah, well, Sunday you could make games work. We used to go to sports bars. I used to go to Eagles bars to watch the games and all that. Oh, yeah.
Well, how would the Eagles bar get the Eagles game? Like, again, this is like,
bro, I don't know how it worked, but yeah, this is way back when, but it worked.
Technology.
They were able to make it work. I don't know how.
Again, did they have
the satellite? I think it was the satellite dishes, like the actual satellite dish that you actually put on the top of the building. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, learn a lot about Seltzer.
I know.
Still think you're a New Yorker, but
yeah, it's good. I'm happy for that. It's good.
Would never let that go.
Yeah. Are you going to move on to something else?
Why? You're leading the show. Just following your lead.
How are we talking about this? The Baltimore Phillies weekend. Somehow we're discussing the match.
Yeah, well, because it was brutal. Now, Friday night was fun. Friday night was like, I was sitting there Friday and I was like, it
was the game of the year Friday.
This is a high level.
We went from the game of the year to,
to 2 of the worst. Friday was like a high level of baseball. Like it was 2 heavyweights. Phillies obviously depleted, the Orioles not, and like Kimbrel doing the ear thing to the booze drove me nuts, drove me up a wall. But Friday was awesome, man. Like Friday was really what you kind of thought the whole series was going to turn out to be.
Totally. It was basically Friday and half of Saturday felt like a series, and then
yesterday happened, and they
ruined. And really, the last few innings on Friday too, they pulled away. I mean, it felt like 6-2. It was like we're not winning.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, I mean, the fact that I thought they showed a lot of. I think it kind of reminded me. The whole series reminded me of the Marlins game before the All-Star break last year, where Pache hit the home run.
Oh yeah. And then they just kind of took the last 2 games off. Yeah, I like that. That's okay. That was the game of the year up to that point.
Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
It was awesome. So again, they're down 2 of their best. Wheeler wasn't great. Like,
Wheeler was horrible. Wheeler was horrible.
Do I expect that to be the new version of Zach Wheeler? I don't. Of course, it had to reignite the stupid Garrett Stubbs can't catch him thing.
I know.
Which drives me.
I know. I feel bad because I was like, oh, now he's starting the All-Star game on Friday, and now he's like Ranger.
No, you did. Yeah,
it was my fault.
You totally.
I got a lot of people say, and also apparently, did I say something about Castellanos being good in the outfield because people were blaming me for the error? I was like, what?
I'm even surprised that was an error.
Hey, it was a horrible call. It was like he threw it to home. It wasn't like it was. That didn't make sense to me at all. That was an error.
Well, and I would just wish Major League Baseball could correctly understand the gravity of the moment.
Yeah,
like, that's one of the most precious streaks in the history of baseball.
Now, luckily, he's gonna break the Ripken streak, so I think that's a little more important. So, like, we can kind of let this go because he's got this other great thing going.
Right.
Can,
but
be as impactful and as important.
And especially, like, the eye test really does back up how good he is in right field. That 400-plus games without an error, Like you letting that die
Letting it die.
on maybe throwing to the wrong base.
It's outrageous.
I hope someone should step in and say, hey, for the good of the sport,
It's a good point.
change it around so that we have DiMaggio, we have Ripken, we need Castellanos. Those three are going to be etched in the Mount Rushmore of Major League Baseball
until it's Castellanos twice, which is going to be wild.
Yeah, and then that's how we get in the Hall of Fame.
They have to etch over Cal for another Castellanos, throw some hair on it.
Castellanos is brutal.
He's so tough.
Like
it's horrible to watch him.
It's just brutal, and he's like, maybe if he's not batting 2, it's just like the fact that he's batting 2.
Yeah, and thank God for Turner.
Thank God Trey's coming back.
It's ridiculous. I know he's been better the last month than prior, or whatever. He's batting 215 or 210 or whatever. I mean, and again, like I know it's not always, apples to apples. He's making $20 million. Like I can't. Like, also, why is it that this one guy gets to say, "Well, I want to play, so I play"? I'll bet you Bryson Stott would like to play against lefties, and I know he's stunk too.
We'll get to Bryson.
Yeah, but I mean, like the point is, like, at what point I don't know when you cross the threshold of like you get to decide that you play every day. I guess it's Nick Castellanos. Is it? I mean, it's so weird. Like, do you remember a guy who you think could benefit from a couple days off more than Nick Castellanos right now? Is there anyone who could maybe like benefit more from just clearing your head, and not worrying about going up and doing something you're horrible at right now?
I agree. I mean, it's unless they think that loses him. I don't know how that's possible.
I think you need to take it out of his hands. Like, just because he wants to play doesn't mean he should play.
The chips are already down.
How much worse can it get? Like, we're at the bottom of the barrel.
Again, Nick Castellanos has been. Now he was pretty good last year in the postseason. Obviously, the first play again. We're trying to build a Nick Castellanos.
It is wild.
We're trying to build a Nick Castellanos Hall of Fame case right in front of us.
He's on a list with him and Reggie Jackson. That's it.
Yeah.
Those are the two guys on the list.
So he's going to chase down Ripken for the most consecutive games played streak. He never makes errors in right field because he's a stalwart out there. And he is the only
him and Reggie, the only guy to have multiple homer games. Like, he's the only guy.
He's the only guy to have back-to-back.
He's the only guy to have, I think, 4 homers or 5 homers in 3 games, 4 homers in 2 games.
More deserving of the Hall of Fame, Nick Castellanos or Nick Foles?
You know what I think here.
Anyway,
Nick Foles, stone cold Hall of Famer.
Nick Foles is 1 Super Bowl away from being in the Hall of Fame.
You're right.
If he could just find his way on a team.
Right.
But
one
seriously,
great game away. Yep.
Like the Castellanos thing, I don't know. Again, if this team hadn't had the runs that they had in 2022, which he barely contributed in, and
hold on, let's not forget, like the 2022 thing, we were talking about moving him down the lineup and he wouldn't. We were talking about taking him out of the lineup and he wouldn't. And that is a big reason. If you want to point the reason they lost the World Series, that's one of them. Nick Castellanos, one of them.
But he's lucky that they've had the runs the last 2 years. Just people. He would be like public enemy number one.
He might not be able to show his face in the stadium. Seriously, if they didn't make the playoff, let's say they're a middling team. Let's say they didn't have these runs. They don't make the playoffs. We're still in this drought, and they're like on pace for 82 wins, 83 wins, or whatever. Yeah, man. Like, he might not be able to show his face. Like, Nick Castellanos would be getting, if he didn't have these playoff moments, these things to ingratiate him to us, and he deserved, like, he did come through in those spots. Mm-hmm. He has been a big part of this culture, this thing that we love. But, like, again, it's Philadelphia. He's making $20 million, and he's, like, one of the worst hitters in the sport. Yeah, dude, he would be getting destroyed on a daily basis. Like, he wouldn't be able to go out there.
The boos would be pretty overwhelming. So, again, there's been a lot of talk. Jim Bowden keeps saying that they're looking for a starting outfielder and a fourth outfielder.
He ain't messing around.
Which is interesting. And again, when you have this opportunity like they have, and
go for it.
There's 4 real teams. I don't count the Guardians. Mariners maybe if they can get someone. But like, I think that it's those 4 teams, and this is their World Series year. Like, you can't have like that. It's like the outfield production is so lackluster.
It's unbelievable.
And it seems like Rojas is going down, which is fine.
What do you make of it?
Well, the way that Gelb wrote it seems like it's almost
it's done.
No. What I mean is that it seems like it's not just his play, but also getting picked off second base. It's on Friday night, not scoring from home because he doesn't have a good secondary lead.
Yeah.
I think they want him to go work on like the little things. Because again, if you're not going to hit,
even the fielding, we've seen it with him. The little things that kind of taking it a little lackadaisical on balls. The kind of the one hand. I know everyone just doesn't catches one handed now. It is what it is. I get it, but like it does feel like even I think it's an attention to detail thing on all fronts.
Yes, I think that and they want because again, if you're not going to hit, like you got to do everything else really, really well.
You gotta be great.
So and whatever. Pache and him are basically the same player. Pache is probably better at the plate, definitely better at the plate, but whatever.
Yeah, absolutely better at the plate. Yeah.
So
interesting though, you kept bringing up Marsh playing more center field in the minors.
I know.
Jackie I.
Oh man, no one's got a better finger on the
feel
pulse
for these things. That's right.
So yeah, Marsh was in center field yesterday, obviously with Dahl. It's just like I'm fine trying it for a little bit. I guess I'd just be more surprised than anything if like Dahl and Merrifield is good enough in left field. I feel like they're using a lot of and listen, we're both Dahlman, and that's obvious.
Dahlman.
And it's good that he got a hit yesterday. But it feels like a pretty big like, okay, they must believe in something with Dahl to have him basically be the starting left fielder with him and Witt. That's a big jump from
a guy who got picked up off the street.
Yeah, a minor league free agent that was doing well in AAA. So I just like,
and let's be honest, Dahl's had some nice moments. I think he's like 1 for his last 15 or something like that. Like he's not been great.
Pulled off. So Dahl Merrifield is tough. Is definitely shaky.
It's tough.
Is definitely shaky.
If you're talking 2019, let's go.
Yeah, 2019, they're outfield's fine. And Castellanos 2019, which I believe, that's when he's a Cub. Dude, Castellanos in the Cubs was like the best hitter in baseball for 2 months.
A straight stud.
So, man, the outfield is just it's nerve-wracking right now because it feels so lacking.
Well, and especially it's one thing when Stott's kicking butt. And granted, Bohm had a great weekend, and it looks
Bohm's
like
heating right back up.
But again, Bohm, just went through that struggle. Harper's Harper, but getting Turner back is huge, but they were relying on Sosa coming through, on Bohm being really good. They need Stott to be better. If the outfield's going to be that bad, like there's no margin for error. Bohm can't struggle. Stott can't struggle. If you're not, you know what I mean? Like and with JT out, you lose that, and again, JT's not the best hitting catcher in baseball anymore, but he's a hell of a lot better than Stubbs and Marchand. So when you lose that drop off there too, you need something from those outfielders. You're just not getting enough offense.
No. And hopefully Marsh coming back kind of gives him a little bit of a spark. But I think we kind of know what Marsh is at this point. Like he's 265, really struggles against lefties.
Yeah, good against righties, but he's a nice player.
So and the Stott thing, it's weird because sometimes you feel players' struggles.
I feel the same way as you do. It's like everyone's like Stott's been horrible. I'm like, look at the number. I'm like,
yeah,
I guess he kind of has. And I will say the one thing I've noticed, because you're right, I haven't felt it as much as you would think as the numbers imply that it's been. But I will say I lately have been the Rojas thing we talk about. I've been feeling that more with Stott, where it's like the ball's off the bat. I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, it's a fly. It's a weak fly. Like it feels like the ball's not exploding off the bat the way it used to.
And it's a lot of just weak ground ball.
Yeah,
it seems like. So yeah, the Stott thing is definitely becoming a thing. And people, and I heard you guys talking about it on the way in today, and I was of this mindset too. Before it's like, dude, he's at 235.
Yeah.
Like Sosa has to get some second base starts too.
He has to. I think against tough lefties, he will. I think if it's a tough lefty, Sosa's your second baseman.
Well, yeah. I think that's gonna happen regardless. I just wonder if it's gonna happen against righties too.
It could. I mean, if Stott doesn't start hitting soon, like because it's not just the Stott struggle, it's that whether you like it or not, you got to find ways to force Sosa in the lineup if he keeps hitting. I mean, homer again this weekend. Like the dude's. I'm not saying that it's a lock that he will, but I'm saying if he keeps hitting, you have to figure it out.
He's definitely starting to cool off.
Of course,
So I think he's 214, I believe, in his last since like June 1st. So he's definitely cooling off. But like, at least there's something there. Like there's a threat. At least
he's hitting some home runs. Yeah.
And Stott right now, he had the hit on Saturday, which is good. It's just a lot of weak contact. And he cannot be a 235. Like he needs to be in the 260. If he's not going to be a power hitting second baseman, he needs to be between 750 and 850 OPS and batting between 265 and 280.
Yeah.
That's what he should be.
Yeah.
235 is like, he's too good of a hitter.
It's unacceptable.
He's just too good of a hitter. It's
And
as
the
simple as
walks have
that.
been good. It's nice to see him walking
Mhm.
more. You love that, but it's got to be combined with actual hitting the baseball. Do you worry that the walks it's kind of looking to walk more than?
I was just gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
mean,
that's what it kind of feels like. It almost is hurting it.
and that's what sunk Castellanos in the first. No. I say that a bit not really tongue in cheek, but like when the beginning of the season, he was trying to like
Yeah, he
walk
was. He
and
was.
be a patient hitter. Now he just swings first pitch all the time,
Like,
which
I
is
can't do that.
equally
Sorry,
as
guys.
exciting.
Yeah. Every time.
I cannot stand first pitch swinging.
I know.
It's like just work a little bit. I
Mhm.
know, like Schwarber when he hits the first pitch home run of the game, it's like the best thing ever. It's cool, but like man, it's excruciating.
Well, especially when it's every time. Like it's one thing to
Like when Bryce
be
does it also.
selective. Yeah.
Because Bryce is so good at like working counts, like
Yeah.
just to give it away
Yeah.
in the first pitch. So, but yeah, Sosa, you put the outfield glove away for a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's just focus on maybe some second base here and see if like getting Stott off of his feet gets him going. You know what? I think there's such a correlation. It's like, oh my god, they sat Bohm one game and now he's back. It's like, dude, I would be surprised if that's really that big of a deal.
And we always talk. I think it's also just different guys and different things in different moments. Like, yeah, maybe this was a perfect spot where Bohm really just needed a blow, and like that happens.
Mhm.
But I think there's also a lot of times where you just give a guy a day off and it doesn't do anything either. You know, so I think it's
Like
all
Castellanos?
dependent. Exactly. Like I like as much as it's more just grading and like it bothers me that he just plays every day almost for my own sanity. Then do I really think like they get him a day? And look, it's more of a why the hell not? Like, give it a shot. It can't be worse than what we're doing now. But do I really think Castellanos gets 2 days off, comes back, and he's awesome? No, of course not. Like, I don't think it's gonna do anything. But it's like, freaking try it.
The problem for the Castellanos thing right now is that he's batting 2.
I know.
Like Castellanos
If
batting
he's a 6 or 7,
Castellanos like the first when he was horrible to start the year. It's like, well, he's batting 7.
Yeah.
You know,
but he's found his way. I mean, I feel like he's batted cleanup or 2 the vast majority of games over the last month.
It's the magnifying glass that I think that comes with the second spot because it's so important. Like it's arguably the most important.
5. He's always top 5. He's never out of the top 5 ever.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. I don't know what they do. Like they've gone so far down this. Like we're just gonna let him play his way through it. They're not gonna
change. Oh, I explain 162, man.
Dude, if he plays 162 again, tears will be shed.
Let's bet right now. The over/under is 161.5. Do you think he hits the over or the under? Because I'm going to say over. I think he's playing every game this year. That is my prediction.
I'm gonna take the under. Gonna take the under. The under. The under. But even that, I'm talking about like deadline wise. Like, are they gonna have a sit down? Like, we're gonna have to go get someone better than you, and you're a platoon guy.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will.
No.
But like,
I mean, they should. Of course, they should. Absolutely. I mean, David Dahl's been better on a at bat per bat basis. Yeah, but
it's been a week and a half.
I'm not saying David Dahl should play over Nick Castellanos, but I'm saying that like they could absolutely find someone to play right field who will be better than Nick Castellanos. I just don't think there's any chance they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's more likely he plays every game.
Can they? I wonder if it gets to the point in the offseason where it's like, okay, we'll attach a real prospect.
Well, I think that's a different situation. I think once you get to the offseason and once you're out of this moment,
would you?
Well, that's a whole different thing. Again, there's a lot of factors to this, and the clubhouse stuff obviously matters. Like it matters to us, it matters to them. Like
it's real.
It's real. So,
but you also have to pack it up.
I know that's the point. Like at a certain point, you can only say like he might be the greatest guy in the clubhouse. The guy can't hit. Like, are we trying to win a World Series? Are we trying to put together a freaking a bunch of places you want to hang out?
The Castellanos conundrum.
Yeah, it is. Oh, are we gonna go conundrum back-to-back pods?
We are a conundrum pod.
Yeah,
we are a conundrum pod. Yeah, I just please start hitting the baseball.
Yeah, okay.
Like, just, like make everyone's life easier because it's gonna start getting. You're starting to feel it, right? I mean, you're starting to feel the Castellanos turn coming, and again because he's batting second, you're starting to hear some Stott stuff.
I think it's just one of those things where we just have to hope that Castellanos has is hot when the playoffs are happening, and we get another potential because he can do that. He can go on these runs.
I know,
but I just think that we all have to be ready that Castellanos is going to have some big at bats in the postseason, and it's going to anger us, and we have to hope that those at bats don't decide the playoffs because it's going to happen. He's going to come up in big spots and he's going to be casting out.
This next month and 13 days until a trade deadline is like, it's excruciating. It's exciting.
It's exciting
because again, I think we talked about this last pod. Like, we haven't felt a trade deadline really since 11.
Well,
besides trading Hamels and
no. Yeah, on the positive side,
right.
Like go out and help us win a World Series side.
Just saying,
it's exciting.
A nice sell-off trade deadline is
it's great. It's a whole different thing, but yes, there's especially for you. I mean, that's like,
come on, man,
getting into Jackie wheelhouse.
I still think they could have got Mookie in 2014. They traded Hamels a year.
By the way, Mookie.
I know.
I was watching when it happened too, and it pummeled him, and I'm like, that's bad.
Yeah.
It was like, how like you can kind of see it like Bryce when Blake Snell hit him. Like, guys know, and like you could tell Mookie knew. He was like, this one's not just normal. Like, this is a problem. And it sucks for baseball.
Yeah.
It's good for the Phillies.
Sort of. I mean, he'll be back.
He'll be back. But look, I mean, that is it. That's a dangerous injury.
Well,
come back and hit for power is dangerous.
Sure. My worry is that this forces them to be like, all right, let's go get.
Well, that's the concern. Is they're going to go freaking exactly.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So the trade deadline, and then we'll get to the take back. But
by the way, someone on this podcast has been in on the trade deadline since May 1st.
That's true.
So,
yes, Tucker has been talking about it nonstop. That's true. But with this concept that we're talking about right here, literally this idea of, there's other teams out there in on this too, like Dodgers. I think it's actually a really unique year in the fact that not only is it the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Orioles at the top, who, like we talked about before, the two biggest spenders theoretically. The Yankees haven't been what they've been, but theoretically, the Yankees and the Dodgers, the Orioles with every prospect on the planet to trade. And then, the Phillies sitting there with this group of three. Then you take in the fact that literally all except two teams in the National League are within 2 games of a wild card spot. Like the Rockies and the Marlins are the only 2 teams that are outside of 2 games. 2 games from a wild card spot. So you have to have both sides to make trades happen. The lack of sellers, and even the American League, a lot of teams still in it, the West falling apart, who knows, but still in the wild card hunt. Like, how do you think that affects this whole dynamic? Because it's like a small group of buyers and a small group of sellers and a bunch of in between.
Yeah, well, obviously it's going to cost more to get all these guys.
Probably.
Which is
probably
terrifying.
Yeah.
For if you
like Andrew Painter fan.
Yeah. If you like those guys, it's again, it's why Dave Dombrowski is paid the big bucks.
Yep.
Like you,
there it is.
There
it is.
You got to decide
why he gets the big bucks.
Who are your keepers? It should be an all-in year. It feels like an all-in year.
I think it has.
It's good for baseball. It stinks that both the Yankees and Dodgers.
It's so annoying. Like, really? Like, could we just get one of them? Like, could the Dodgers have an off year and we could be the Phillies Yankees here? Could we?
But I actually think the Phillies farm system has more interesting prospects than the Dodgers have a guy that's probably going to be. And then this is Robert Orr, who's brilliant, but I always have to give him some credit for things.
Mm-hmm. It's tough when you have to give credit out.
I know. I'm not a creditsman at all. I'm not a creditsman. But there's a guy that's lower level Dodgers prospect that's going to be 1-1, I guess, in a year.
Is that good?
So, but other than that, so
you're telling me the Dodgers have the guy who's going to be the best prospect in baseball?
Yeah, within a year.
Sweet.
Within a year.
It's really cool.
Once Jackson grows up.
Sweet. What's his name?
I don't know. I gotta look it up.
Okay.
But yeah. So but I think right now the Phillies have more tradable pieces than I'd be more interested in the Yankees just depleted a lot of their guys for Soto.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, they've been trading guys every single deadline. Now they signed Shohei and they used a lot of
signed
money.
Yamamoto and all that.
So and by the way, Yamamoto also
hurt. Yeah, it's another one. Yeah, it's true. Not season ending, but it's an injury.
And the Orioles obviously have the Orioles are the Orioles, so they can trade for whatever they want.
The Orioles can win any trade negotiation if they want to.
Yeah.
They probably won't. Now they're not, I don't think they're as I think the Orioles feel like their window's a little bit bigger than the Phillies and Yankees.
Yeah. So, but I think
this group.
I think for the first time in a while, the Phillies have competitive pieces that could swing deals if they want to get it done. So again, they're in a really healthy spot as an organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what are you putting on the table for what player?
And I think you have to put it on the table.
I know.
This is
if Kyle Tucker is actually
whatever
available,
it takes. Give Andrew Painter plus.
It's whatever it takes.
Done. Yeah, that guy wins you World Series. You win the World Series.
100%.
It's over.
I just put Tucker in the middle of the lineup.
Oh my god!
Not Bagley, not Tucker.
Not
Bagley.
Tucker. No offense, buddy. This is the better.
He goes
Tucker.
to the number one. He's the number one Tucker in the city.
Yeah, he would be easily.
Would I have to change my name?
You would have to change.
You might have to. Yeah, you might have to. You could go Bagley Tucker. You could go last name first.
Yeah.
So you could kind of be like him as an ode to him because he's Kyle
I mean,
Tucker.
like I would buy a jersey.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's
Yeah.
a
You had a
no-brainer.
PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
You do have a
That's
PJ
pretty
Tucker
sad,
jersey.
buddy. That's tough.
Yeah. Well, he did yell at Joel one time.
He
And that
did.
really,
Oh yeah, that. Remember when that was going to having Kyle
Changed
Tucker,
the
having
season.
PJ Tucker around here now.
whoa, punching the microphone.
Now they got a dog. So they're gonna go win now. Yep.
This will bring the toughness out of the Sixers. But man, is he really available?
I don't think
Is
so.
Kyle Tucker really
No.
available?
No.
Well, here's why he could be.
Mhm.
Could be. Verlander's all. It seems
Brian's done. I think.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah.
I think he's done. And then they have enough pitching if they want. But like Presley's 100 and pitched a million postseason innings. Bregman's probably gonna walk.
Mhm.
They just released Jose Abreu, who's making
Yeah, they just let him go, which is crazy.
like Altuve. Like he's gonna hit till he's 50.
It's unbelievable. The
He's
dude just
awesome.
awesome.
But like when you go for it as many years as they have,
Absolutely. I mean,
you're gonna give up prospects.
yeah, and your window's gonna end eventually, and it feels like they're at the back end of
And
it.
I feel like if you're the Astros, given that you like did the process, but you actually nailed it.
Nailed the process. Yeah.
You're much more prone to be like,
Let's just do it again.
let's just try it again.
Let's just do it again.
Because if they got Kyle Tucker, I mean, it would be the best thing that's ever happened in my life.
Outside of Walker.
Outside of Walker and Jill and
Yeah,
family,
yeah.
sports wise,
Yeah.
it would be
heaven.
ridiculous.
It would be so great.
And
It
John Middleton had to pay another $400 million.
Yeah,
contract,
it's
but
true.
Come on,
Still got
John.
a few more years, right? Tucker's. I think he's got a couple
No,
hard years left.
this year and next year.
That's it. I thought it was three. Thought it was two more after this. So he's got okay. All right. Yeah. Well, pay the man. He's worth it.
Sure,
He's worth it. All right. And also the Gold Glove defender. The whole
dude,
thing.
he's a stud.
He's awesome.
And he's a big postseason home runs.
Yeah. No, he's been there. He's done. Yeah. No, Kyle Tucker. He's my top guy.
Come on, Kyle.
All right. Take back in a sec. Shout out to our Miller Lite account of the week. Today's show is sponsored by Miller Lite and Three Monkeys at the Torresdale Station. Check out Three Monkeys for every Phillies game and enjoy $3 Miller Lite drafts along with the Northeast cheesesteak egg rolls with Cooper Sharp. Yes, please. Miller Lites for Phil's win. Celebrate responsibly. Fritzy.
So obviously a lot to get to in
Of
the old take bag.
The old take bag.
I love, and so I didn't see it live because I had to go on a rage walk.
The topper.
Dude, the
It
Rob
was so
Thompson
great.
ejection was so funny. I didn't know he had that gear in him.
I didn't either. Honestly, I thought he was going to get thrown out. As soon as he walked out, I'm like, all right, I actually thought he was going to get thrown out multiple games of the last. I thought he might get thrown out of Boston game. It felt like we're kind of getting towards it with the way the umping's been. And it felt like we need a topper ejection. I need one.
They got screwed by the umpires.
They got screwed this week. I mean, even the freaking Wheeler against Gunnar Henderson, the first at bat of the game, the whole thing. But I didn't know that he would go that far. He was Earl Weaver. I mean, he was like red in the face.
When the hair
yes,
moves.
I didn't know that. I'm with you. I just didn't know he had that gear in him as a human. It was awesome. So great.
Yeah, and by the way,
So great.
Yeah, for him to go there, he had to be really mad. Also, thought it was a little Mickey Mouse by the umpire,
to go back at him. Oh, are you kidding me? That was unprofessional. Yeah. It really was. That is the umpire's job, is to diffuse that situation and to back off and to not get into it with him. I am so with you.
Mickey Mouse.
It was Mickey Mouse. It really was.
But man, again, I heard you guys arguing this morning. So I can't have robot umps, baby.
Well, it was that's the best argument there is.
By the way, it's been a tough week for the anti-robot.
It's been bad, yeah.
But I'm sticking to it.
I know. Well, the point is that one time that Topper got thrown out all year, which will be the only time he gets thrown out, like that, or the 8,000 times a year where we're that call sucked and I'm mad about it now. Sure.
It helps Philly sometimes, just letting everyone know. It goes both ways.
Yeah, it does.
It does go both most often, although this week it has not felt that way.
It is
all.
not. It's one of the more one-sided weeks from that person. Because I agree with you. It usually evens out. It felt very one-sided.
Sure.
Very one-sided.
Once again, Major League Baseball out to keep the Phils down.
That's true. I mean, what do you expect? They're like, no. The Yankees are the team that we want everyone talking about. There you go.
Boring Phillies.
Yeah, that's right.
I know everyone's down. I know People are a little disappointed in the baseball team.
It is weird to be like, it's like everyone's like down with quotes. It's like we're all not idiots. We get it. They're 25 games over, 24 games over 500. I'm not gonna freak out, but it is funny to be like, we're all down right now.
Just down.
It's bummed.
Sir Anthony is back.
He's back.
Sir Anthony's back. So
Jack Fritz brought him back.
Very happy.
I don't think you get enough credit. I said this last pod. I think you deserve all the credit.
All of it.
I would say like
so much credit.
a tiny portion of it to like Caleb Cotham and Brian Kaplan. Them small, tiny little piece of Sir Anthony gets the credit. But I would say if it's a pie chart, it's like the little slivers that way, and then the rest, Fritz.
Yeah. And we're monitoring Gregory Soto.
Oh, but I mean, another nice outing. Just saying.
We're monitoring.
Use your powers for
monitoring
good.
Gregory Soto.
Using your powers for good.
And Turnbull looked pretty good yesterday.
He did. Yeah. Nice.
Again, I was on my rage walk, so I missed it.
But. I mean, it's like to your point now. All I think about when Turnbull comes is like a Turnbull coming in an 8-3 game to pitch an inning. I'm just like,
yeah, it's disappointing.
I feel bad.
Yeah, dude.
I find myself feeling sad for Spencer Turnbull every time he pitches. Yeah.
He's gonna get maybe a pretty good deal. Feels like a White Sox, right?
Yeah.
The White Sox give him money.
Imagine. Yes.
They paid Fetty. And Alec Boehm, like I'm happy that like okay, it's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so early April Boehm where it was just like, oh, he's up in an RBI spot. Bang. There's a double in the gap. So they need that, dude. Like you mentioned, like he has to be good.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get reinforcements at the deadline. I wonder if they're gonna get someone as good to be the 4-hitter. I mean, that's obviously
a goal.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Again, it's not anti-Boehm, which is if he bumps everyone back a spot and get like a big power, big classic RBI guy in that spot, it would be huge. But it was good to see Boehm so he can like kind of calm down for a little bit.
Also nice to see him, and he's talked about the Segura thing and all that, but like I like seeing him get pissed off and react that way and be like, all right, you're gonna walk Harper to get to me. Cool. Like I want more of that kind of attitude from him. Maybe we got to find reasons to get chips on his shoulder. Like, is there anything we can do kind of mess with Alec and make him feel like, there's an extra chip on his shoulder for some reason?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. Okay. Should they cut with Merrifield and bring back Segura? What?
It's funny.
Segura?
If you put that Twitter poll out right now, it'd be like 95%.
Even though Gene is
out of baseball. Out of baseball.
Be
you'll be 95% bring back Segura.
It was nice seeing him comment on the.
I liked it. Yeah. And look, I like the Alex shouting him out. Like it's clear that dude mattered to this group. And
they had one World Series trip with him, one World Series trip.
You're right.
Without
they're over without him.
They're over without him.
The Whit Merrifield thing, because we're getting those calls. Cut Whit Merrifield. They're not
cutting Whit Merrifield.
They're not. They're just not. It's not happening. I said today on the air, 0% chance. Joe's like, it's not 0. I'm like, it's 0%. They're not today. They're not cutting Whit Merrifield.
Now,
like, there's not.
A month and a half from now? Yeah.
Different. But I'm saying today, he was talking about the roster move corresponding with Trey Turner coming back. Could they cut Whit Merrifield? No. 0% chance that they will not cut Whit Merrifield. But what do you make of the Merrifield thing? Because to your point, they showed it with Didi, Familia, like that kind of stuff. They've done it where, later in the season, but like $8.5 million they gave this guy.
With an option for next year.
Yeah. I'm guessing that one won't get clicked off. What do you make of the, like, do you have any hopes that Whit Merrifield's going to figure this out? Or do you think it's more likely in a month we're saying they might cut Whit Merrifield? Like, where do you think this is heading?
I think more likely cut, but I have not given up hope yet.
That is tough.
I haven't given up hope.
I know, but you basically said, I'm pretty much giving up hope, but I'm not. I got like a thread left, but like they're probably gonna get cut. But like I'm still kind of. That's what you. Yeah, it was a very weak, hopeful endorsement of Whit Merrifield.
Thank you. That's what I do. Yeah, weak hope is one of my calling cards.
Yes, that's right.
Weak hopes.
Yes.
Welcome to the pod. I'm just saying. Kingery?
He's been hidden.
Just saying. He is one Kingery.
This season is gone.
Kingery,
very wrong.
I told you. All I've thought about while Kingery like is hitting home runs is the dream I had before the season.
I remember.
Yeah, Scott Kingery was going to save the season.
Weirdest. Yeah, like I can't. Yeah, that would be something. We'd have to go back and get the audio.
Dude, just saying.
It'd be a thing. It'd be a real thing.
Just don't let Scott Kingery heat up feel that seat get a little warm. It's probably because Kingery's coming.
Yeah. How do you fall off this bad? I mean, Whit Merrifield's horrible.
Scott Kingery? Yeah, what I mean, I'm surprised because I chalked up a lot the Whit Merrifield struggles at the end of
To
last
not be an
year.
everyday guy.
No, I thought it was the groin
at
injury.
the end of last year. I'm talking about the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
To the groin injury.
Yep.
He's hitting like 315 before the groin injury. So he had the groin injury and that derailed his season. He ended up batting 270. Maybe it's the new role thing. It just looks like the power's kind of just like any like power is zapped from him. So I guess he's one of those guys that has to play through things, and you never realize that because he's a royal. Like they can just
Go ahead.
hey, Whit, go ahead.
Yeah, good.
Go ahead. So, but I do think, I mean, full disclosure, I think he had a pretty good week for Whit Merrifield standards. I mean, he had the big London series.
Big series. Yep.
He
Hit a home
walked
run
a couple times and had a couple hits. He had 2 hits in one of the Red Sox games.
Wow.
By the way, they said I think on the Wednesday or on the Thursday Red Sox game, I think that's when he had 2 hits. They were like, "Yeah, that's Whit Merrifield's 3rd 2-hit game of the year."
Oh God.
And I was like, "No way,
No way. What?
this is no shot."
It's the first time it's happened.
It's the first time ever. So yeah, it's just because he's perfect for what they need.
Again, if Whit Merrifield could be freaking Whit Merrifield, they'd be fine. So annoying.
It is.
All he has to do is be Whit Merrifield. Even broken down old Whit Merrifield would be fine. This guy's not that.
No, he's not. He's not. So again, a glimmer of hope that he had a good week, but not super on the idea of him like going on a run here.
Yeah. So if you had to bet, you would bet he's not on the playoff roster.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's tough.
Well, because they're gonna make
deadline. Yeah. The point is he has a month to figure it out.
Sure.
Because the whole we need a starter and a 4th outfielder thing. Guess who that 4th outfielder is replacing? I mean, they're both kind of replacing him. But you know what I mean? Like you're not going.
And Sosa's developed. So
that's
well
my point.
In the infield,
you're not going and getting a starting. So you got your starter, your set, another starter, and another backup, and it not influencing Whit Merrifield. Sure. It just will.
The other thing, if he does heat up, is also the stop thing.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, he is a second baseman by trade.
Actually pretty good at it. So
yeah.
Again, I hope he heats up. I'm just not.
It'd be much better for the money spent.
Yes.
You don't get the money back.
Believe me, we got a lot invested in right field and number 5 starter. I don't need another $8.5 million.
It is funny too because Dombrowski has done an empirically, inarguably unbelievable job here, and we talk a lot about. I think really the stuff that he doesn't get enough credit for is the infrastructure behind the scenes. Like you always talked about the Yankees way. Like we have a Phillies way, and it's Dave Dombrowski has created this way of going about business from drafting, developing the whole thing. And he has been one of the most important figures in recent history in the Philadelphia Phillies franchise. And even he misses on so many of these. It is wild to think. I mean, whether it's Whit, we mentioned Familia, you mentioned these just contracts, these misses that he had. I mean, Castellanos is just for the money, the return on investment is a disastrous contract. I mean, the 5/100 for that guy is a disaster, but yet, more wins than losses, and you get to be here.
And I think Dombrowski has a bad cooked meter,
Yeah, for real.
He just
Kimbrel
wasn't cooked.
I was just about to say Kimbrel wasn't fair. He wasn't cooked. He got cooked by the end, but he wasn't cooked. That was a good sign. Ultimately, for $10 million, you got your money.
I agree with you. It was a good sign as I am jamming my pen into my eye.
I'm with you.
So So I hope he figures it out. I'm not super hopeful, but man, for a team that's as good as they are, there's definitely pressure points of conversation about is this gonna be good enough?
Yeah, you're right.
In the biggest moments of the season. So, and then final thing, Father's Day was not totally ruined because Aiden Miller.
I saw your tweet. There it is. He crushed it. Too.
He did.
Smoked that ball.
Especially because it's a hard ballpark to hit.
Yeah, he's like what we wanted Bohm to be, and I love Alec Bohm, but he looks like he's actually that guy who's going to hit 290 with 35 home run type of guy.
Probably more of a power hitter. Just looks like more of a power swing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is an idea that I texted James. I said I have a bid idea, but who knows if people would actually show up?
Yes, and if people don't show up, I won't show up. For starters, I'm not giving this night up for no one to show up.
Right.
Yes.
So Wednesday, July 3rd.
Yes.
The Jersey Shore Blue Claws are headed down to Wilmington. Wilmington's pretty close.
30 minutes outside the city.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So it's July 3rd. It's the day before July 4th, obviously. So most people are off.
Good dates.
Thank you.
Knowledge out of you.
We're thinking about an impromptu high hopes, road trip to Wilmington to cheer on Aiden Miller.
Let's go.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, would it be lame if we stole the Yankees roll call and just did like Aiden Miller over and over again? It's also for Justin Crawford.
We would do that.
And everyone else.
Yeah, we would definitely do
Hopefully
that.
George Glossen's
But
pitching.
again, it can't be me and Jack.
Exactly.
Yelling
and
to
Walker.
ourselves. It'd be so embarrassing. Yeah, Emily and Zoe said they're in if we're doing it. So it could be just a family trip.
Yes, it could be. So I guess the best way to say this is we'll put in the legwork for it. We'll try to communicate with the Blue Rocks.
We'll figure out where to meet. Jack will leave his show early that day.
Yes.
We think.
I think so.
Yeah, he's got to get the okay from the
bosses.
Get
the okay, but I believe
that'll be okay.
I could show you where a guy hit a ball off me when I was 13 years old.
Oh, well, that's worth it just for that.
Off the wall, by the way. It's a 13-year-old.
13-year-old with a ball off the wall there?
Yeah, I mean, he's a second-round draft pick eventually.
That makes sense.
And I did have him struck out. Okay. But the stupid umpire.
Oh! Yeah. You know what this suggests? Maybe if they had robot
umpires and Legion baseball.
Then you could be, instead of telling the story about the guy, the second-round pick who went off the wall, you could be telling the story about when he struck out the second-round pick.
Well, in my head.
Very different story.
I still did strike him out.
Yeah, that's true.
I did. It was a curveball down the middle. Yep. It's not my fault you couldn't see it.
Nope.
So
will you come? So the point, that's what we're trying to get to is will you come?
So I guess the easiest way, we'll put up a Twitter poll.
Yes. And definitely tweet at Jack of the two of us. Right. Definitively.
Or
email
thehighhopespod@gmail.com. Again, thehighhopespod@gmail.com.
So the THE highhopespod@gmail.
Now I know people are saying that's just but I take the from the Ohio State University.
Oh yeah. No, it's the High Hopes Pod. There's no question. It's the High Hopes.
So I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun if we got 50 to 100 people.
Yes.
To go cheer on Aiden Miller in Wilmington and I don't know, make a little bit out of the whole thing.
So we're in. Like if you're
in,
this is on you now. Like
right.
We have cleared the evening. We have it's available.
Tucker will be there.
Tucker, we just committed Tucker to be there. Tucker just went, I don't think so. Tucker's in. Tucker's in. Are you? So let us know if enough people say they're in, we're doing it. It's that simple. So let us know.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. That it?
That is it. I was going to talk about the draft, but
you can.
Nah, it's fine.
You sure?
No, it's fine.
You came in today, drove in. We were going to do it online, and you were like, "I'll be there." So if you need
we're
a minute,
about a month away.
Okay, we'll get there. You know what I did notice? We didn't really talk a lot about Nick Pivetta on the last pod. Was there anything you wanted to throw out there?
Well, credit to the Phillies for again being able to take down one of the best pitchers in the AL.
Good. I just wanted to make sure we got that in because I realized that was delinquent by me. We talked about the series and I didn't really bring it up.
It's funny. I'm over the Pivetta thing.
Yeah, as you should be.
Because I already won. He's
he's had a major league career.
He's fine.
Which was it when you were in on him, he was nothing.
He was not.
Will this guy be a major leaguer? He's a major league career.
He was 340 right before that started.
Here's what he should send you some cash. If we're being honest. I mean, that guy's made a lot of money by just being in the major leagues. Throw a few shekels your way. I'm just saying.
But does not need to do that. But he's
not.
But he should.
I guess he should not acknowledge you.
No. I think that was so old. It was old.
It was old.
Yeah.
It's a good bit.
That happened now.
It's a great bit.
Probably different.
Right, very different.
It's probably different.
It's your Tommy and me.
Yeah. Nick and me. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment. So don't fall on your face this week. The Padres are slowly playing better.
They are. And they are
technically a
playoff team and like one game under 500.
One game under. My boy Randy Vasquez on the mound tonight.
Yeah.
I loved Randy Vasquez a couple years ago. And I just know that Luis Arraez and Jurickson Profile.
Arraez is going to kill us.
They're going to drive me nuts.
And oddly, Mike Schlitt got thrown out of the game yesterday, too.
Oh, nice.
I wonder when the last time two teams have come into a series with their manager getting tossed the game.
The Elias Sports Break.
Yeah. Where is that? Where is that? Tucker, I thought you were doing your job.
Once again. You're not allowed to come to Wilmington now, Tucker.
That's right. All right. But you're coming to Wilmington. All right. We'll be back after the pod series. Until then, he's Fritz himself.